Welcome to the Global Move, brought to you by Asian Tigers Group, where we get insight from professional, international, and sensational leaders in the business and try to help smooth your move by avoiding pitfalls. I'm your host, Ryan McClure, and today we are joined by Gordon Bell, chairman of the Asian Tigers Group. Welcome, Gordon.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Gordon, we're happy to have you and your considerable experience today. How long or when did you get started in the relocation business?
I was 20 years old. I just returned to Singapore. Gee, that makes it 47 years, coming up for 47 years.
That's 47 years of experience. I understand you got started in the business moving boxes yourself.
Yes, I did. I'm not sure they knew. Listen, I was young. I had lots of energy. I'm not sure they knew what they wanted to do with me. So they put me on the road.
And on the road, you mean you were loading trucks?
Yeah, absolutely. They were teaching me the A to Z of the moving business. So from packing to loading to whatever.
So, what did you learn from that early experience on the road that you still find valuable today?
You know, the first thing they did, because they didn't really trust me, so they gave me the books. From the books, it went to a little bit more difficult. So I packed crockery. I then went on to bicycles. I went on to cupboards, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, um, it was a fantastic experience. Although I'm sure, as my mother would tell you, every time I came home, it wasn't the case. It wasn't that fantastic of an experience when I was doing it.
It's tough work, I imagine.
Very.
So, I mean, with the voice of people out there that are especially their first international move, there seems to be an almost overwhelming number of things that hit you leading up to the move itself, and then most people feel like, oh, I've completed all my checklist, I've boxed everything that's precious, and I've got my tickets, and then you hand off the boxes to you guys, to the relocation company, and it's almost like as soon as they do that, their job's done. Your job's just beginning. What does that all entail?
Oh, I'm not sure each shipper, each client, each transferee really understands what goes into it until they actually watch us do it. When all the paperwork is done, that's really when we start. So, we pack up the house, and there's a lot to this. Number one, it's not just little boxes, it's furniture, it's everything. And once we've done that, we load it into a container, or what we call lift fans in the trade, depending on the size of shipment. We then take it to the port. There's a possibility of a customs examination. Then it's repacked and then put onto a vessel. And the vessel, you've got to choose a good vessel, a trustworthy vessel that gets to the destination in time, in the amount of time that they have dictated. From then, when it arrives, it's offloaded. It's that goes through yet another customs inspection because it's entering into a new country. It's then hauled to a destination, most times the residence, and then the whole process of us packing it gets unpacked at the destination. So really, there's a lot to it, and there's a possibility that this will happen over a 4 to 6 to 8 week period. So there's stops and starts everywhere. So yeah, there's a lot to it.
A lot of moving parts.
Hmm.
So what would you say is different from the perspective of the relocation company, the mover, when they arrive at a place? Is it just dump and go? I mean, what are some things that go through your head as that are based on experience?
The fact that I spent that time packing and unpacking, depending on which job I was given, you just learn things about what to do, what not to do. And it's not a case of pack and run. It's positioning. You've got to unpack a cupboard, you've got to position it to the right place where the client wants it to be. It's unpacking boxes, it's unpacking crystal, it's taking the rubbish away, and leaving the house in a fairly good state for the start of the transferee's next life, basically. So a lot to do, absolutely.
So I know there's people watching now that are just researching their first international move. What message would you have for them on the importance of and how to select an international moving company that you trust?
They got to, I believe that qualifications, you've had to work at being a good mover. You have to prove yourself that you are capable of doing it. You have to be entrusted by agents that you will pay your bills. So get a good mover to start with. Make sure there's a few qualifications there. Secondly, ask your friends, who they move with, etc. Go on, go on to Google. Find out if you're down to two or three people that you want to use. Go and find out what other people are saying about them. But and more importantly, and I'm saying this as a sort of like a final tick. The guy who came into the house, or the woman who comes into the house, just if you like them, it's that feeling of trust. You got to trust the people who are going to come into your house. Can you imagine? Who in their right mind allows strangers into their house? Trust is a huge thing.
Trust is certainly key. So uh, check reviews, ask your friends, and take an audit of the person who comes to do the survey.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Great tips, Gordon. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time today.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.